Hello and welcome to the first annual MFEM Community Workshop. I'm really excited to be here. We were very impressed with the turnout and how many people signed up to come to this thing. So I just want to introduce you to the organizing committee. So I kind of kicked this idea off, and Zanio Kolev, the PI of the MFEM project, joined in, as well as Will Pasner and Mark Stoll, who are both key members of the MFEM team. Let's go ahead and move on, of course. There we go. So just a few housekeeping items for how we're going to be running this thing. Just please keep your mic muted and your camera off during the talks. With so many people, it's really important not to pollute the sound space, and sometimes the video sharing can put a lot of load if everyone's sharing their video. So go ahead and leave those off during the talks. You can go ahead and ask questions in the Zoom chat. Also, side conversations will be going on in the workshop Slack channel. So please go ahead and join us there for more conversations. And we'll be keeping that around at least for a while after the workshop for more conversations after the workshop as well. Let me just run through the agenda. We've got quite a few things going on today. So right now we're in the welcome and overview section that I'm giving. Then the PI of the MFEM project, Zanio, is going to give a state of the MFEM talk, tell you about where we're at and where we're going this year and in the future. Then Veselin Dobrev is going to talk to you about the sort of latest cutting edge work going on in MFEM and some of the latest features that you can access. Then at 9 o'clock of Pacific time, we're going to be starting our first session of talks. The talks are going to be 20 minutes each, and hopefully there'll be some time for questions in those talks as well. Then at 10 Pacific time, we're going to be doing, we're going to be taking a break, but before everyone leaves, we're hoping to get a group photo. So then everyone can turn their video on and hopefully we don't crash the system. Zanio will be taking pictures. We hope to share those with everyone after the end of the workshop. Then we'll be going on to our second session at 10:30, followed by a break at 12:30, and our third session at 1. And then finally, we'll be having breakout sessions at 2 o'clock Pacific time. So we've got 3 different breakout rooms. You'll have the opportunity to choose whether you want to go on the electromagnetics, fluids, or structural mechanics breakout rooms. We're really interested in hearing more about what you guys are doing with MFEM, ways we could help and help support those different application spaces. And then finally at 2:30 Pacific time, we'll be wrapping up and announcing the simulation contest winners. And we had plenty of interesting entries, and I'm really excited to share the results of that contest. But before I hand it off to Zanio, I wanted to go over the survey results. So you guys all took a survey when you signed up, and we had some interesting results from that survey that I'd like to share, actually. So first of all, there are 231 participants. Actually, I think it's up to 238. It changed since I did this slide. From 28 countries and 120 organizations. So we were absolutely blown away by how much interest so there's a variety of interest in this workshop and in MFEM. We were happy to see there's plenty of universities on this list, folks, professors and postdocs and graduate students all involved in the workshop. We're also happy to see, we're from a national laboratory. We're happy to see plenty of other national laboratories on this list, as well as national laboratories outside of the United States. So plenty of interest there. And then, of course, there were quite a few industrial collaborators as well that are joining us. So it was quite a bit of interest spread out pretty widely. So the interest is spread pretty far across the globe. As you can see, there's a lot of interest, of course, in the United States, but quite a bit outside the United States as well. We seem to have MFEM users on every continent in the world, except for Antarctica. So if anyone knows anyone at the Antarctic research stations that needs some finite elements, have them give us a call. We'd love to add that, that continent to the list. One of the things we were really happy to see that come out of the survey is that over half of you coming to this workshop are new MFEM users. So we're really excited to see this many new users with interest in MFEM. We hope that the talks that we're providing in this workshop will help you see the kinds of things you can do with MFEM. We hope that the resources we provide will help you get started and help you get working on the kinds of finite elements you'd like to solve in your problems. One thing that was interesting to me, obviously MFEM is a C++ library, so you know, people are going to be using C++ with it. But there are quite a few people that are using Python with MFEM, using our PyMFEM interface layer. And so I was happy to see that that's getting quite a bit of use, and also quite a few Fortran users out there. So I was interested to see that you know, Fortran's still alive and kicking, and they're using MFEM as well. I'd like to see what they're doing as well. In terms of application areas, as we suspected, fluid flow, structural mechanics, and electromagnetics are the main application areas. We have breakout sessions to talk about those application areas toward the end of the day, which reflects that. But I was also interested to see there's just all sorts of interesting and weird applications. I was surprised to see economics and finance in there using a finite element library. I'd be interested in seeing what that person is doing. And before we go on, I just want to talk a little bit about the MFEM resources that we have available very quickly. So obviously, you know, we're an open source code with the BSD license, and our code is on GitHub. But I wanted to point out that, you know, in addition to the code on GitHub, you can find our issues site there. We're quite active there, so if you need help, that's a great place to go. And we also take, you know, we're very active working on the code. We have a sizable team, but we also take contributions from outside the team. So if you're interested in putting something in, maybe talk with us on the issues, and we'll help you get that feature into MFEM. In addition to the code itself, on GitHub, there's the MFEM organization, where you can find other repos like the PyMFEM repo. But I wanted to point out that we also have an MFEM team called Everybody. So if you're interested in joining that team so that you can get announcements like our next release, for instance, go ahead and contact us, and we can have you join that team. In addition to the MFEM repo on GitHub, we have an mfem.org landing page. We've got quite a bit of information here. This is a very good resource. It's a great place to get started and learn what's going on with MFEM, and sort of how you can use it, and you know, a lot of resources on using MFEM. In particular, if you're a new user, the first place you're going to want to go is the example codes. These example codes are on the order of 20 to 50 lines of code, well commented, and they show you sort of the basics of using MFEM to solve a variety of problems with a variety of different PDEs. If you happen to find your PDE on the list of example problems, starting off with that code is a great place to start for solving the kind of problems that you're looking at solving. In addition, we've got quite a bit of documentation here. This is an ever-growing section. There's sort of articles on different aspects of MFEM and sort of how to think about them a little bit. In addition, we've got our Doxygen page here, which we are constantly adding to. We're sort of pushing our Doxygen down from the sort of top end highest level interface. We're starting to push that down to lower levels of the interface so that people doing more advanced things have good Doxygen as well. So that's a lot of that's going to be coming in this year. In addition, a few new things have been added recently in the past couple of months, actually. So we added a how-to articles section and a search section. So for the how-to articles, these are just roughly one-page articles describing how to do something with MFEM. There's about a dozen of them right now, and we are slowly but surely adding more. So if you have a topic that you'd like to suggest, there's a button here you can click that'll take you to an issues page that'll get you going on that how-to article. And finally, we recently added search because the page is starting to, there's starting to get a lot of content on the page, so we added a search bar to help you find things on the page.